Well, hello everybody. You know, I've been getting bugged by so many people during this coronavirus pandemic, unfortunately. Julian, you put so much stuff on Facebook. When are you going to cook a recipe? Well, okay, here I am. I'm cooking a recipe for everybody who wants one. Simple stuff, but one of the classics from the Soundbite restaurant. Delicious, scrumptious shrimp po' boy sandwiches. So here we go. The first thing we have to do is make the Creole sauce. That is the foundation of this dish. It's a foundation for a lot of things in New Orleans cooking, like the roux. Well, the Creole sauce is it. But you can make variations on a theme, so that's what I'm going to do with mine, because I'm going to add a little classic ingredients plus something of my own, a surprise for you. So let's get into it. Barbara, come over here. And I got to be careful with Barbara, because you know Barbara, everybody thinks Barbara's cool, but you know Barbara, you know, she's a black Jamaican Cuban, and she will cut you. So I want to see the light of day tomorrow. So darling, just thank you for doing this for me, you know, and I'll just make sure you have a delicious dish later on. But here we go. We're going to start off first with about 2 cups of mayonnaise. Very simple. And we're going to add some Cajun seasoning in it. And this Cajun seasoning actually has a lot of spice to it. I'm not going to add any cayenne pepper afterwards because you really don't need it for this. The Cajun seasoning is spicy enough. I'm going to add some paprika. Usually, not paprika, I'm sorry, parsley. We'll get to the paprika in a minute. Usually you want to use fresh parsley, but I find sometimes a dry parsley, you know, it really clings and it makes a good taste to it. Garlic powder, I'm substituting garlic powder for fresh garlic. Normally if you want to do this, you're going to use maybe 1 to 2 cloves of like minced garlic and put that in. Now getting to the paprika, here we go. Not regular paprika, but you want smoked paprika. Now you see that I'm just putting in the ingredients and I haven't told you exactly how much you need to use because it usually goes by taste. Primarily though, what you're going to do is anywhere from 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon, but you season this all by taste. And once you get used to this, it's very easy to do. Now I'm going to put in some garlic powder. Garlic powder is not bad, but for this particular recipe, it's pretty good. There you go. We got that. We're going to move on here, and we're going to put in some ketchup. Ketchup is something that some people don't always use, but a lot of people down there in the bayou use it, so I'm going to put some in there for that. And obviously, you definitely want some spicy brown mustard. Anybody want Grey Poupon? You don't need Grey Poupon, but just spicy brown mustard. And last but not least, in terms of the spices, we're going to put a little bit of horseradish in there. Okay, horseradish will give it some spice. Probably about a teaspoon of that. And to top it all off, we're going to put some fresh lemon juice in there, okay? Now, the one thing that people don't do, is something that I do myself, is come up here and talk to me for a second. What I do is I like to put a little liquor. You got to have some liquor in this. And you can use different kinds. You see I have gin out here, I have wine. Look, don't get any cooking wine. If you're going to use liquor, you got to get the real deal. What I like to do to kind of sweeten it up is to take the edge off the heat. I've got some Spanish dessert wine in here. Gran Vino Sanson. Am I pronouncing that right, Barbara?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Okay. My mother-in-law used to say, all the years you've been married to my daughter, all you know how to say is que pasa. She's right, but I can cook, okay? So I'm just going to put a little dash of that in there. Gran Vino Sanson. Now you can put all kinds of things in there. Liqueurs, aperitifs, vodka. One thing you don't want to put, but I have it out here, is some grain alcohol. That's about a 400 alarm. I'm using that for sanitizer, but I have it out here just for show. Okay. So we have all our ingredients in here, okay? I'm just going to put this on the side here. And we're just going to whisk everything up, okay? There? And you see it has that texture in there now. And it turns like just a little red. And you can see a little of the parsley flakes in there as well. And we're going to taste this and see what it tastes like. Oh yeah. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this now. The Cajun remoulade sauce is made, and I'm just gonna put it in our bowl here, and we're gonna put that on the side for now. All right. There we go. That is our presentation. Now we have to get to the shrimp. Now I normally use size 16-20. If you don't really know what that is, it's basically kind of a jumbo type of shrimp. I take the tail off, and I'm going to season it now. I'm going to show you some of my secrets here. Paul Prudhomme taught me how to blacken. He's the father of blackening, and I learned from him in Louisiana. And he has a great particular spice that's called, it's called right here, the blackened redfish magic. It's really good for blackening, like catfish. It's good for blackening shrimp. Barbara's looking at the oil over there. She thinks that the house is going to burn down, but it's not. You know how Barbara is. Anyway, so we're going to sprinkle some of the seasoning on the shrimp. Very simple. Okay, there we go. Okay, generous amount, and we're going to mix it up. Now, when you usually go out to a restaurant, a lot of times you get shrimp, you get chicken, you get fish. It really has that really crispy, crusty kind of crust on the end of it. Well, most people don't know to get that crust. There's several ways of doing it, but one simple way is using egg whites. So here we're going to do. We're going to dip the shrimp into the egg whites after it's seasoned. All right. I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to put it into flour. You can use all-purpose flour. I kind of use self-rising flour. It gives it a little bit more of a kick. And I'm going to throw that into the flour. All right, here we go. Here we go. Simple dish, folks. Easy. Giving you some of my secrets here. Sprinkle a little more spice on there. And then we're going to just roll it up here. And then we are going to take it along with the Cajun remoulade over to the stove. Follow me. Woo, boy, this is kicking up a whole lot of smoke in here. So we're gonna throw this in. Look at that. Make sure you get your oil hot. I use vegetable oil, and to fry anything doesn't really take a whole lot of time. Yeah, let me let that sizzle down. I don't want that to boil over. You put your shrimp in there. This takes a couple of minutes or less. Shrimp is very easy and it's fast to cook. Once you start to see it float, then you know that it's pretty much ready, and it takes no time. I've got a great strainer here. And the one thing that you want to use, a secret to most frying or even blackening, is you want to use a cast iron skillet. The cast iron skillet is the mother of all inventions. It really is. Because the cast iron skillet, this cast iron skillet here, I gotta tell you, has been in the family. Now look at that shrimp. Child, this shrimp is succulent. I'm telling you, look at that. Look at that. And it's gonna be tender on the inside. The spices are in, crispy. Isn't that wonderful? I lost the shrimp down there to the stove. That's okay. We'll get that later. But the bottom line is, there you go. Okay? That's it. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to wash my hands. Barbara, stay on that shrimp for a minute. I'm going to put my back, and I'm going to wash my hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that Cajun remoulade sauce, and we're going to spread it on the bread. Now, usually what happens, most times in New Orleans, they'll use French baguette, but you can use any kind of bread you want. This is basically kind of like a hero type bread. What you want to do is you want to put that Cajun remoulade sauce on first. Then what you want to do is you want to take your greens. Normally what they do is put the sliced or chopped lettuce. I'm using mixed greens. Okay? There you go. Now, after I do that, you put on your shrimp. All right, doesn't that look good? Lord have mercy. And look, this takes no time. This takes absolutely no time. There you go. You can put on as many shrimp as you want. And then you want to top it off with just a little bit more Cajun remoulade sauce. And there you have it. There you have it. There you have a shrimp po' boy. Man, I can't even wrap my hands. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on now. Check it out. Check it out. Look. This gonna make you want to slap your mama, sideways, up and down. No, no good step. Just an old Southern expression to say, this is really good. Put it on there, Barbara. Look at that. Now, if you don't like fried, you can simply follow it with seasoning, and you can also grill it and use the same recipe. The other thing here is I put out on display, Barbara, zoom in on this. We're in a time now where you can't go to the supermarket all the time. You can use occasional remoulade sauce. You can put it in the refrigerator, it lasts for days, it's good. And you can use it on pasta. So you boil your pasta. I like fettuccine because it's wider, and you know, certain pastas just kind of absorb the flavor. So once you cook the pasta, you can use the Cajun remoulade sauce over that. And you can use different proteins. Now the remoulade sauce is good for dipping. Okay, so if you don't want to make a po' boy sandwich, come on, Barbara. So you just use this when you have some people over. You just dip it. Now, I know some of my friends double dip. Please don't do that. Don't double dip. But this is good. You know, look, cooking is not a science. Cooking comes from the soul. And there's no such thing as the best way of doing anything. My Cajun remoulade sauce is something that I've used in my restaurant. And I have my own style to it. There's certain things you can do down in the bayou that I don't do with mine, but this works for me and it works well. What you need to do when you're cooking is to find out what tastes good to you. So therefore, you can use your own ingredients. Just with a Spanish dessert wine, I use that in my sauce. You can use other things. Experiment. Sometimes when it comes to cooking, things don't always come out the way you want, but that's trial and error. That's cooking. And that's how I came up with my Cajun Southern Italian fusion I use in the restaurant. And my wings, which won Best Wings in New York State by Insider Food. If you come over here and you see, oh, and by the way, you see my pig here, shrimp po' boys. Every time we invite people over, we put something else on this little pig here. This is my boy here. Yo, baby, I love you. Over here on the side here, you'll see, you know, all these recipe books. They're good, and you can go by them. But what I have done, I've taken these books, I've looked at recipes, and what I've done is I've made a variation on a theme. That's what you need to do when you cook. It's no science. It comes from the soul. It comes from the heart. It comes from mi corazón in Spanish, heart. Okay, Barbara's rolling her eyes. What I say for them, for tu corazón, Barbara? Is that right?
Mi corazón.
Mi corazón. Okay, whatever. Anyway, the bottom line is, go back on these bad boys right here. Cajun shrimp po' boys with a remoulade sauce. You can't beat this. So, this is my first segment. I think the next time I come to you, I'm going to make a little alcoholic beverage. Or maybe a dessert. Barbara's rolling her eyes again, but you know she's going to be all into it. I got to tell you something. During this time where you're sequestered, you don't have to chase your wife around. Barbara, she's up there holding this thing now. She knows, I won't have to run around for her later on because she's going to be so satisfied with this. And if you don't have a significant other, then use your imagination. I'm out.